Alright, that's another Hunter rumor completed. Let's get into today's update. Looks like we're getting Easter as well as updates to Varlamore. Over the past week they've already done a ton of hotfixes for Varlamore, mostly in order to patch bugs as well as ensure that things are working properly as intended. If you want to go over them in detail, feel free to pause the video and read. This week it looks like our most important update is going to be the Easter event, because it's what they put at the top. The Easter Bunny has arrived in Gillinor once more, and he's set up shop just outside of the Grand Exchange. Event has been completed. We get a new outfit after the event, as well as the Pendant of Egg and Book of Egg. Not a bad event quest, took about 20-25 minutes. Now on to the Varlamore updates. I'm really liking whenever they bring us these images to showcase us the statistics of the new content. 5 million waves have been completed at the Colosseum. I'm curious how many of those are just round 1 farming. 1.6 bill earned from house robbing with 178 pets. And there's already 2,000 pretzel pets in the game. If we're going by the amount of pets to rumors already completed, it looks like it's roughly a 1 in 1,000 chance to get the bird pet. As for actual changes, the Colosseum is only getting one. It's just a fix to the description of Doom. It'll now correctly state that any damage taken, instead of just damage taken off prayer, is what'll affect the stacks of Doom. Stay tuned for more changes soon. For some reason I have hide roofs turned on, but they are still visible. Just a quick retoggle of that seems to have fixed it. Now we take a look at the Hunter Guild changes. Loot sack names have been changed to actually correspond with the tier of rumor that you get them from. So instead of tier 1, 2, 3, and 4, it should be Beginner, Adept, Expert, and Master. A toggle has been added in order to prevent getting the same rumor back to back. It is on by default and you can change it by talking to the guild scribe over here in the bar. Our new antelopes will respawn faster, and they switched up the scenery around them in order to keep them from getting stuck in the bushes. And now we will actually get our collection log updated whenever we get the sunfire splinters from the antelopes as opposed to only from the Colosseum. The pyre foxes have had their traps in the north and the east turned around so they actually face the foxes, and the spawns have been increased in the area. So that should hopefully alleviate some of the tensions over the foxes. And the Red Chinchompa rumor will now actually tell you to bring back the Red Chinchompa fur. They've improved the overall look of pitfall creatures. It looks about the same. Can't really tell much of a difference. And there's the Sunfire Splinter collection log slot from the antelopes. That leaves our last changes today for the Perilous Moons. So we actually have some balance tweaks to begin it. The yellow eclipse moon now has slightly higher defenses. The blue moon will build cold twice as fast, as well as healing more consistently during its tornado phase when you have to run to the braziers. And the red blood moon's main healing from its third attack, which is multiplied by 5, has been reduced down to who knows what they didn't state. But to compensate, the healing from the jaguar attack has been increased slightly. So ideally the Blood Moon boss will now actually be dealing with the Blood Jaguar as its main mechanic. Blue Moon is about the same, not too much to change. And Yellow Moon will be a little bit more tanky. Apparently we can no longer do things like fletching in the background of the fishing activity. Never tested that, so didn't even know we could in the first place. And they've also made it clear that fishing guarantees 1 fish, although you can obtain 2 fish with a successful skill check. I will still probably be sticking to hunting the lizards. They just seem faster and more guaranteed rather than waiting on the chances of the fish to swim into your nets. PvPers are taking advantage of the Eclipse Atlatl, and they're rebalancing the required stats down to 50 attack and 50 strength. And the final tweak is that we're going to be able to see a fixed bug where we're being persistently warned of the dangers of going into the boss rooms. Thank you for that one. Now we get to finish out with the miscellaneous Varlamore changes. A tile in Ralos' Rise has been fixed. Players can world hop while thieving in the bazaar a little bit faster. There was a bit of a bug with an extra medium clue able to be dropped that has now been fixed as well. More choppable trees across the Avium Savannah. The Atlatl darts have had their buy limits increased on the GE. And the master clue that required players to do the Fortis salute has now been changed to just a regular salute instead. And now for what is normally some of the best updates hidden in these blog posts, are other changes. The mage arena accuracy has been increased, so it's a little more dangerous, but protect from magic will still protect from the spells. Tutorial Island Guide no longer advises Jagex accounts to be able to link to their email address because it's no longer needed to do that. If you haven't unlocked Bones to Peaches, it can now be hidden by the spellbook filter that hides spells you lack the requirements to cast. Ketla and Desert Treasure 2 is now going to be the place that you recover your lost quest items whenever you're doing the Losar section. Looks like the sound effect on Vadorvas' mage head attack is going to be something shorter now. Pretty cool that was a streamer in his chat that ended up picking out the sound effect. Fixed a bug where the 10% crossbow bolt effect proc chance buff from Seer's Village was applying twice. Jagex, do you want to explain yourself and what that means? How long has that bug been here? Was it only from last week's update? Have we been doing double bolt procking since it's been released? What does that mean? We may or may never know. But to close out, we've got some Easter merch coming in the form of the Easter Bunny pin. And we finish off the blog with our normal PvP world rotations. Feel free to pause and read it if you're interested in those. Comment highlight for this episode goes to We All Would. The best part of Varlamore for them was the 4 new quests. I liked seeing 4 as opposed to the expected 2, and quests are a big part of helping the game areas feel full and alive and lived in as opposed to just empty places to traverse. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for me this week, guys. I'd always appreciate if you leave a like or subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Go ahead and join our little neighborhood we've built up as a community. If you want to support me further, maybe you could become a channel member. But no matter what, have a good rest of the day, you guys.